Hello, dear students. Welcome to this session of data analysis with Bunya Neville. So far, we have seen how to design a questionnaire. We have seen the various types of questions that are found in the questionnaire, and we have seen how to make our questionnaires reliable. Remember, in the last session, we said the quality of your research is dependent upon the quality of your data, and your data is dependent on the quality of your questionnaire. If you are asking the right questions, you are going to get the right data to analyze. So, how are we going to design this questionnaire? We have already seen how to implement it theoretically, how to come up with good write-up, how to ask proper questions. Now, how can we design this questionnaire to give us that material, that data that we expect? We are going to see that in this class of today. To do this, we are going to use either Google Forms or we use Info. Now, why do we choose these two platforms to design our questionnaire? First, by designing our questionnaire using these two platforms, it will be easy for us to collect our responses or to get our responses in an Excel file. Now, in data analysis, when you go out for the research, when you go out for data collection, you ask questions to participants or respondents, you get their responses. At the end of the day, you have to get all of these responses into Microsoft Excel. You get the point? Usually, that is what students have been doing. So, when you print pieces of papers, you ask them questions. There are so many disadvantages attached to this method. You get the point? First is that the respondent may make a mistake in answering a question, especially open-ended questions. You understand? When you make a mistake in writing, we are trying to avoid these mistakes. Secondly, the time you are typing these responses into Microsoft Excel, you are equally prone to mistakes or errors. Thirdly, the time consumed in typing these responses into Microsoft Excel, we need to minimize it. You get the point? We need to minimize that time. If I find a yes student, there are more better things you can use your time to do than to be typing the responses of the participants you interviewed in your data collection process. Also, the time for pre-processing. You remember the errors the participants have made and the errors you have made has created numerous errors in the data you have entered. So it's going to equally increase the time for your pre-processing, which we are struggling to reduce. You get the point? And finally, the cost of printing these papers. You need to eliminate this cost. You are a student. As a student, if you check in developed countries, students have more advantages because most of their things are given to them for free. But in underdeveloped countries, students are facing a lot of challenges, especially financial challenges, because they lack so many things for them to study. You get the point? So we are struggling to reduce the cost of you conducting the research at your various levels. You understand? Now, how do we go about this? We are going to be using Google Docs to create a form that we can distribute to participants, a digital form that we can distribute to participants online for them to answer the various questions and submit. When they submit this questionnaire or their responses is going to go into an Excel file or an Excel sheet that we will download, and we have the responses in our computer. You get the point? So this is what we'll be doing in this section of today. Now, I mentioned we are going to use two means in achieving this task. The first is by using Google Forms, and the second is by using Info. What are the advantages of using these two methods? Firstly, we have that it minimizes errors, because once you have set your questionnaire for participants to answer, their responses are getting in. There's no third party, which is you, the researcher, to input these responses again. They are getting into Excel sheet directly. So after the process of data collection, what you are left to do is pre-processing. It's pre-processing. You get the point? So we have minimized errors. Next advantage is that we are reducing cost of printing. The next advantage is that it increases the number of respondents when we have this. Remember, when you print pieces of papers, you will need to walk around and distribute these papers for respondents to answer. But if you have a link that you can share through WhatsApp group, you will bear with me that you as a student or a final year student, you will belong to so many groups. So many groups that you can easily share your questionnaire for people to answer. And you will equally bear with me that if we design a Google form and we share for participants to answer, 80% of your respondent or of your sample population are online. So there will be no issue of somebody complaining of, I don't have data, I do not have data. You understand? So that is why we are introducing this at this moment, because I have seen students make a lot of mistakes in carrying out or in conducting their research. As we are going to see when we are designing this, we are going to see some questionnaires designed by previous students. Okay. Now, what is the next advantage? It reduces the time for pre-processing. First, we are not typing that responses into Microsoft Excel. We already have it in Excel. That is one point. So it has already reduced the time of pre-processing. Next, the number of errors made have been reduced, because whatsoever you have typed, all the close-ended questions that you have typed, they will follow the same format. If you use lowercase letters, it will be lowercase letters. If you use uppercase letters, it will be uppercase letters. You understand? So they will follow the same format. And next, it makes analysis easy. Now, these are the advantages of using either EpiInfo or Google Docs. Now, a question will come in. If we can use Google Docs to do this, why introduce EpiInfo? Now, this is the reason why we are introducing EpiInfo. There are some participants or a sample population. If you are conducting the research, depending on the type of research you are conducting, there is a sample population that you will not just send a WhatsApp link for them to open and fill your questionnaire. You understand? It will seem disrespectful. You get the point? So, this sample population, you need to go and meet them in person and ask them the questions. Now, how do you do this to make sure that when they give their responses, there is no third party? You understand? There is no third party. If there is a mistake that is to be made, that mistake should be made once, not twice. We are going to use EpiInfo to do this. And in this section, we are going to see how to collect this data using EpiInfo and export this data into Microsoft Excel so that we can do pre-processing in Excel. You get the point? So that is why we have introduced these two means of questionnaire design. We have already seen how to make your questionnaire a good one. Remember that the quality of data you collect will determine the quality of your research. You understand? Okay. What are the disadvantages of these two means of questionnaire design and data collection method? Google Docs will require data, but then we already, as I said, 80% of your sample population in this era will have internet access, so data will not be a problem. You get the point? So that is a major disadvantage with this means of questionnaire design and the data collection method. So let's get straight into it. First of all, we are going to open a sample questionnaire that we have been using. We open a sample questionnaire that we have been using. Okay. This is a questionnaire from one of my students. Okay, I'm going to open this questionnaire. It's for a BSc thesis. So a BSc thesis. Okay, we have this questionnaire. The student is conducting a research on knowledge, attitudes, practice, and challenges faced by women of the age of procreation towards the use of modern family planning methods in the Japoma community. Okay, this is you are going to permit me for my English. I am engineer. I am not a linguistic teacher. Okay, so you permit me if I make grammatical errors in the presentation. Okay, so let us get into designing. We have this questionnaire, three pages. So we are just going to design this. Let's say some few questions in this. Okay. Now, how do we go about this? First, let us open to our browser. This is our browser. Okay. Now, if you don't have a Google account, because you're going to need a Google account to carry out this process or this exercise. If you don't have a Google account, I just want you to connect your computer, make sure your computer is having internet access, then you create a new Google account. You get the point? But then, I already have a Google account. If you're creating a new Google account, just go to this, you type create. To go to the browser, you type create new Gmail account. You understand? It's going to take you to a page for you to create a new Gmail account. But I already have a Google account. Are you there? So we are going to use, okay, the page has opened. Just create a new Gmail account. Create account. Takes you to the sign in. Good. They'll ask for your name. You fill all this information. They'll ask for your phone number. Good. You do this. I don't want to create a new account because I already have an account now. If you are using Google Chrome, I always like using Google Chrome because I can have my email account logged in here as such. You understand? You see that I have various email accounts for various purposes. This email account is for students to drop their assignments. Level 1 students, level 2 students, level 3 students. Whatever assignment I give you, you have to drop it inside this. You understand? Then this is my university account. You understand? Then this is my YouTube account. So I have numerous accounts here. So now we already have an account. Okay, we already have an account. Now since you already have an account, how do we get into Google Forms? I just want you to open a new tab as such. Let's say this browser, you open to this browser, is going to open as such. I want you to come to where you have these dots. If you take your cursor to it, you're going to see titled Google Apps. Google Apps. When you open this using the mobile devices, you may not see this, but it's there. Okay, it may not appear as such, but it's there. I want you to open it using a computer so that it will be visible enough. So open this Google Apps. Click on Google Apps. What is happening? The internet connection seems to be really slow. Okay. If I click, what is happening? Okay, we have Google Apps. Are we there? The apps are going to appear as such. You have your account, you have the search, Google search, you have Maps, you have Play Store, and so on. All Google Apps are here. All. So I want us to go to Docs, Google Docs. You click on Google Docs, okay? So we are creating this. You click on Google Docs. Now, you will remember that for those who attended the offline session of this, you will notice that we started by creating this questionnaire using type form. But then we realize that with type form, you can only get 10 responses. After 10 responses, you'll be asked to pay. You'll be asked to buy an account. The type form is not a free tool. So you'll be asked to buy an account. Now, since we are struggling to minimize costs, we cannot go and start buying accounts because we want to create questionnaire. So that is the reason we are using the Google Forms, which is somehow free. Yes. So we click on forms. Okay. I want us to create a blank form. So we click on the blank form. It's going to take you to this new window. Okay. Now let's just give a brief review of this. In this interface, okay, learn about the new Google Forms. No, we don't want to learn about new Google Forms. Okay. So to begin, we have the questions, we have responses, we have settings. Are we there? We have settings. So all of this, we have the undo, we have the redo, we have preview, we have customized theme. All of this. Okay, we don't need that for now. Then we have this send. Once you are done with your questionnaire, you take send. You're going to see a link. Okay, it's going to give you a link where you can share with participants, as we are going to see now. Where we have untitled form, what do we put here? This is where we put the title of our form. So I'm just going to type this: my first questionnaire. My first questionnaire. Now they are asking for the description of this. Remember that in your questionnaire design, you are not going to put my first questionnaire. You can have what? You can have medical questionnaire. You can have medical questionnaire, okay? Or you can have health questionnaire. Okay? You can have health questionnaire depending on the title of your research. So whatever you can have here. Now we have form description. Now check this question. Remember when we're looking at questionnaire design, I told you people, you have to make, if you have not watched the previous lecture, you need to watch the first lecture where I explain how to design your questionnaire. Your questionnaire needs to be interesting, okay? The questionnaire needs to be interesting. You have to let the participant know what you are doing. So I'm going to just copy this. Then I take two. And I paste it there. Okay, now I want to remove this name and I put my name there. Okay, I want to remove this name and I put my name there. Okay, good. So we have this questionnaire as such. You get the point. This is your intro. Remember, the last statement is saying you are invited to be part of the study. No information will be needed that discloses your identity. This is a voluntary participation, and I promise to strictly keep your information confidential. It is very important. Why? Remember I told you, when you are conducting a survey, especially academic surveys, especially in the health sector, it's not advisable to get personal information of respondents, like their names, like their locations. Remember that when I said you do not disclose or you do not get personal information from respondents, their name, their location, their phone numbers. You don't ask all of this. Okay, you don't ask all of this. We have questionnaires where some of these are required. You understand? Where some of these are required, but for this case they are not required because you are carrying out an academic survey. And now you need your participants to be responding to your questions. If you are asking their personal information, let's take for instance you are talking about you are investigating about HIV. Most people don't want people to know they have HIV. Okay, so if you go and start asking for their names, you go and start asking for their individual information, they will not answer that questionnaire. You understand? They will not answer that questionnaire. So do not ask for personal information from participants when you are conducting your research. In the socio-demographic data that you are collecting, get just what is necessary for your study. Okay, we have this intro as such. Question number 1, let's get to this questionnaire. The first question is age in years. No. How old are you? Just write how old are you. That is better. You understand? So we are going to title this question, how old are you? How old are you? You get the point? How old are you? Let it be in bold. Let it be in bold. Now, since this participant, this candidate, this researcher has made it a close-ended question, okay? We are going to make it a close-ended question. We give the ages, the range. So we have option 1. I see here is 15 to 23. So we're going to give it 15 to 23. Now, in the design, let me open another questionnaire that is of interest to this particular topic, this particular session. There's one questionnaire here that is of interest to us, so that you see what we are saying. Okay, in this questionnaire, look at this other participant. Look at this other participant. We have ages. I don't know if this color is visible enough for you guys. We have age. The first option, we have less than 20 years. Second, between 20 to 30 years. Third, we have greater than 30 years. Now, this is not proper, okay? This is going to give you a whole lot of work when you are doing pre-processing. This less than 20 years is not proper. We don't do this, okay? If you want to put less than 20 years, I will expect you to put 15 to 20. Ages, every participant know that if we are talking about age, it should be in years, okay? When you ask how old are you, the participant know that they mean the number of years you have lived on this planet. Now, between, we don't need this, okay? We don't need this between. We don't need it. 20 to 30, we don't need this between. Now, if we have 15 to 20, we should not have 20 to 30. We should have 21 to 26, okay? To 26. That makes it, 21 to 26. We have a 5-year gap, okay? And at this point, we have that was greater than 30. Okay, let's give it 21 to 30. Let's maintain what you put there. Okay. Now at this point we had greater than 30. Greater than 30. Now there are some forms that when you input greater than 30, okay, by the time you are extracting your data, by the time you are exporting that data into Excel, it's not going to recognize that greater than sign. I mean, they will give you some funny characters. So to avoid that, I will advise you to put 30 plus. Okay? 30 plus. You get the point? Okay. We have this. So this is now better. The between the years that we are putting here is going to give you a lot of work at the level of pre-processing. So let's come back here. We have 15 to 24 to 32. So let's give in the next option. We have the next is, see, at this point they have asked add option or add order. Remember, I told you that there are some questions where you will give just about 3 options, then you put order. You understand? You're not supposed to fill all options. Like in the case of religion, in the case of Cameroon, you are either a Christian or you are a Muslim. You get the point? That is recognized, Christian or a Muslim. But we have pagans, we have traditional, we have herbalists. So all of them will fall under order. you can directly add order in the case of religion, as we are going to see. Let's add another option. So option 2 will be 24 to 32. 24 to 32. And option 3 will be 33 to 41. So 41. And the fourth option will be 42 to 49. So we have our 4 options. Now, when you enter this question, you see at this point, it is titled multiple choice. That is why we have options. Now, if it was, remember now this multiple choice in the previous section, we saw that it is a close-ended question. When we get to designing analysis, you're going to see what we mean by this close-ended question and open-ended questions and how to analyze them easily. So, it's a multiple choice question, okay? In these applications, when you are designing your question, the multiple choice questions are close-ended questions. The questions are you already know their answer. You are proposing these answers to participants. They are known as close-ended questions. We can either use multiple choice, checkbox, or drop down to fill this section of multiple choice questions. Now, for close-ended questions, are you there? For close-ended questions, we are going to use short answer or paragraph. Okay, this will be a short text or a long text. Short answer or paragraph. Okay, good. So let's get to the next question. How do we add a question? Now, you see at this point, we can add an image. Okay, we can add an image to this particular question. How do we add the next question? You come to this plus sign here. You see, when you take your cursor to it, it tells you add question. Okay, when you take your cursor to the next, import questions. If you already have questions, you can import them. Okay, when you take to the next, we have add title and description, add image, add video, add section. Okay, now add section. Let's look at this. This is a section. Okay, now some people will be happy to add this section in their questionnaire design. Now it is not proper. Why is it not proper? In the analysis we are going to see, these sections will not be considered. So it is important that you enter only your questions. Start from socio-demographic as you have designed like this in Microsoft Word. Start from the socio-demographic and you enter question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. You skip this. We don't need it inside the questionnaire design. You go to question 5, question 6, question 7. Okay? When you get to the next section, section C, you skip this section C. We don't need it in the design. So let's get back to our design and add another question. So we add another question. The next question is marital status. So we're going to give it, let's bold it, marital status. So the first option is single. The next option is married. The next option is divorce. Okay, good. So we have these 3 options. It's still a multiple choice question. So let's add another question. We have religion, Muslim, Christians, order. We're just going to use it like that, Muslim, Christian, order. But then we know that Muslim, Christian is not a religion. We have Christianity, we have Islam, we have order. So we're going to have religion. I think that is what it's supposed to be. Okay. So we're going to give religion. Now, when we put religion, you see the thing has changed into a short text. We don't want it to be a text. We want it to be multiple choice. Okay, just as before. So the first case we're going to give it Islam. The second choice is Christianity. And now at this point we have order. We're just going to add order like that. Okay, going to add order like that. Now one important part we have been missing. At the bottom of this page we have copy, we have delete, we have required. If you click on more options, you have description, go to section based on answer, shuffle order. Okay, now required. If you click on this required sign, okay, a star will be attached to this question, telling the respondent that they must answer this question before they can submit their form. Now, if you force any respondent to answer a particular question in your survey, then you are not going to get the amount of data you require. You understand? This required is used usually for those who are creating forms for interviews, okay, for job interviews where they are asking for specific criteria. If you don't meet this criteria, by default they remove you from the list. Okay, so you don't make any question required in your questionnaire. Let that participant answer the ones they can answer. The ones they cannot answer, let it be an empty space. We are going to see how to handle that in analysis. I repeat again, do not make any question a required question in your questionnaire design. Okay, we have religion. Let's add another question. So this is how you're going to be adding questions. This is how you're going to be adding questions. Okay, this is how you're going to be adding questions. So let's say we add an open-ended question. Let's say we add an open-ended question. Let's come here. What do you understand by modern family planning? Now, in this questionnaire design, this particular question cannot come here because you cannot just meet people and start asking them, what do you understand by modern family planning? No, that's not the first question. We have to first of all ask if they know about modern family planning. So our first question is, it will be a yes or no question. Have you heard about modern family planning? This is a yes or no question. Okay, now you're going to see something interesting here. This is a yes or no question. Now, see suggestions already. All, at all, yes, no, maybe. Okay, we don't want maybe. You understand? We don't want maybe. Remember that. He said don't put ambiguous words in your questionnaire. We don't want maybe, so I'm just gonna give it yes. Okay, I'm gonna give it yes. Once I take yes from this option, if I take next option, automatically I have no. It's interesting, right? So now we have asked this question. By default, we are going to use filtering here. So it's a yes or no question. If you say no, there should be no reason why I should be asking you what is a modern family planning method. So our next question will be an open-ended question. If yes, comma, what do you understand by modern family planning? Is a method in it. What do you understand by modern family planning? Good. Have you heard about this? What do you understand by modern family planning? Now, you see, by default, that's already selected that this question is an open-ended question. But then, you cannot use short answer because the participant may have much to say. If you use short answer, you are limiting that participant. So we are going to take paragraph. See, now it is showing here long answer text. Good. So we have this. So we have input these questions. Good. This is how you enter all the questions you have designed in Microsoft Word in your questionnaire. Okay, you enter them like that. Instead of printing, enter them there and distribute those links. So all of these questions will be entered. Okay, now you're going to enter them as such. We cannot do all of that in this video, so we're going to stop at this point. Now let's finish the process. After entering these questions as such, okay, let's go to settings. Let's go to settings. The first part of settings says make this as a quiz. No responses. Let's click on responses and see what we have there. Collect email addresses. No, do not collect email addresses. Okay, do not collect email addresses. Now, like I said, this same form we are using, this application we are using, or this section of Google Docs we are using, is also being used by job creators where they are taking job applicants. So they design a form here and they give you to fill if you are applying for a job online. You fill the form. So they'll collect your email. This is the point where you verify if you actually have an email. Okay, where they can send a feedback to you. Send responses. No, we don't want to collect email. Allow response editing. No. Once the respondent has responded, okay, there should be no editing. So this should be off. Okay. Limit response to one only. We don't want that. Presentation. Click on this. Show progress bar. Yes, this is important. Show progress bar. Progress bar will appear at the top of the browser as such. As you are answering the question, the progress bar will be moving like this. Are we there? It will be moving like this to the right. Shuffle question order. No, do not shuffle question order. Confirmation messages. Your responses have been recorded. Okay. Let's edit these confirmation messages. These confirmation messages will appear when the participant has submitted the form. So what are we going to say then? We'll say thank you. Thank you for your time. Or you can say thank you for participating. Okay. Thank you for your time. Or you say thank you for participating. It has changed. Okay. So you choose whatever you want to put there. View results summary. Share results summary with respondent. No, it should be off. Disable autosave for all respondents. No, autosave should be on. Okay. Defaults. Form defaults. Settings apply to this form and new forms. No, leave that one. Don't touch that. Okay. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Do not allow it. Questions default. Settings apply to all new questions. No, do not activate that. Okay. Responses. Let's go to responses. Now, when you come into this responses section, will ask you link to sheet. Okay. I want you to click on link to sheet. Yes. If you come here, get email notification. No, we don't want to get email. Yes, get email notification for email for new responses. It is very important. Okay. It is very important. You click on that. You have enabled, you see, email notification is enabled. Now, this will tell you if you have distributed these questionnaires, are you there? And people are asked you should be getting email responses for the number of participants that have answered. So if you reach your target population that you want, or the target number of responses that you want, you can stop there and start doing your pre-processing. Okay. Now, select destination for responses. Select destination for responses. When you click on that, we have create a new spreadsheet on title form in bracket responses. No, I want you to title this. We call it health questionnaire. Health questionnaire. So we have the health questionnaire. You get the point. Select existing spreadsheet. We don't have any existing spreadsheet, so we are creating a new spreadsheet. So you take create. Now this link is going to change. Now you see, we no longer have link to sheet. We now have view sheets. Okay, we now have view sheets. And when you click on these three dots, you're going to have unlinked form. If you take unlinked form, it's going to now show you again that link to sheets. Okay, so now at this point we have our questions. Remember I said when you have typed your questions and you take send, a link will be generated. So I'm going to take send. Good. A new pop-up window is going to appear as such. Collect email address. No, we don't want to collect email address. Okay, we want to get but link. So you come where you have this icon. It's going to show you your link for this questionnaire. So I'm just going to copy this link. Okay, once this link is copied, you can send it to your phone, or if you have WhatsApp activated in your computer as mine, you open to WhatsApp and you drop it in any group of your choice. Okay, or you can copy that link, you go to your desktop, you right click, you take new, you take create document, text document, you open text document, you see a new text document has been created, you double click on that, it's going to open. Now paste that link you have copied. So the link is there. You save it. You close it. Now transfer this link to your mobile phone. I am using Windows 11. In Windows 10 you may have different options when you right click on the file to transfer. So transfer it to your mobile phone, maybe through Bluetooth, and in your mobile phone you'll be able to open this link. Now I have sent to I'm sharing this link using WhatsApp. So if my WhatsApp is connected to the computer, which is what most of you should be doing by now, all of you by now, you should have your WhatsApp linked to your system, your computer, such that you can easily communicate with files, especially if you are at this level in your career where you need to conduct a research. You should have your WhatsApp link to your computer as such. Maybe we are going to take a class on how to link your WhatsApp to your computer. Okay, it's not that difficult. It's a simple process. About 3 minutes you'll be able to do that. Okay, we paste that link there. We take OK. Now the link is sent to this participant. So if the participant opens this link, it's just going to take that participant to the browser. So my default browser is Firefox, not Chrome. It's going to open in Firefox. Okay, the link is opening. Okay, you see the form has opened. Okay, this is how it's going to open in the participant's phone or a computer. You understand? You see the email address is here, switch account and so on. No, we don't want to switch the account. You understand? You don't want to switch the account. And it is indicated here not shared. Okay, not shared. It's indicated not shared. So you have to think of that. So let's just answer this. We answer. You choose it. When you click on the question, you see it's saved already in draft. Answer is saved in draft. If I take no, I can submit this form. Okay, I can submit this form. Good. Submit another response. This should not be there. Okay, this should not be there. You should not be able to submit. One participant should not be able to submit more than one response. So when you design like that in your settings, this is a problem, because if one participant is sending so many responses, the quality of your research is going to drop, because the responses that are going to come from the same participants will almost be the same. You understand? So we are going to change this option where the participant will not be able to send another response. Okay, like I said, we are seeing in this section, it is showing submit another response. So we are going to go back and edit this form. These are the mistakes that you should not make when you're designing your questionnaire, because it's going to reduce the quality of your research. So at this point we had let's go to settings. Yes, this was off. we allow this to be off. So limit to one response. You are going to switch this on. Okay, you're going to switch this on. When you switch this on, it means the participant will not have that opportunity to send another response once they have already sent. Okay, then request email, we send no email. Okay, good. So now let's send this again. We copy, let's just paste it in Firefox, paste it there and open. Good, it is open. Now also we see here not shared, even though the account is there, but it's not shared. So I just take this and I take this and I take this and I take no and I submit. Good, perfect. It gives you this end message. Thank you for your time. It's supposed to end like this. When it ends like this, it's perfect. Now we have entered 3 responses. If we go and check now in the questionnaire, we should close this. We should have 3 responses here. You understand? We have 3 responses. Now, what do you do to this? We have our sheet. Let's open this sheet. Let's open this sheet. Let's open this sheet. You see, we have our questionnaire in this sheet as well. See how clean the data is. See how clean the data is. So, what are we going to do? We are going to download this sheet. Okay, we're going to download this sheet. We have form responses 1. Okay, let's go to 5. We want to download. Let's go to 5. Good. We're going to have the download option. I want to download as Microsoft Excel. By downloading as Microsoft Excel. Good. It's going to ask us where to save this questionnaire. So I'm just going to save it inside the folder for data analysis. Data analysis. I'm just going to save it there. Good. Health questionnaire. You see, everything has entered the way we want it. Now, you see now a timestamp has been introduced. Okay, a timestamp has been introduced. This is usually effective for students who are performing time series analysis. Okay, so you already have timestamp you're going to be managing, usually for engineering students. So we have this downloaded already. Let's open the containing folder. So we have our health questionnaire. Let's open this now in Excel. Okay. What is this? Why is my Excel behaving as such? Okay, we have this as such. Okay, so at this point we have our questionnaire as such. And just highlight that and we give them bold for the questions. Now we will not need this in our analysis, so we're going to remove this times. Now you see how clean the data is. Okay, this is how we're going to have this. But if we're entering this, some of them will be in uppercase, some of them will be in lowercase, and so on and so forth, and it's going to create a lot of problems. Okay, so we are struggling to avoid that. We're struggling to avoid that by all means. So this is what we will be needing. This is the data we are going to export in the analysis software to perform analysis. So we are going to end this session today. This session for now. In the next session, we are going to see how to design this same questionnaire using EpiInfo. Thank you. See you all in the next session.